chatting to a really good friend at the weekend, and he remarked that he thought I was one of the least P-doomers, or I had one of the least or the lowest P-dooms of anybody he knew. If you don't know, P-doom is roughly the calculation on how much you fear about the future of AI. And it's not at all because I'm some ridiculous optimist who believes in a forthcoming utopia eventually. I adhere very close to Bertrand Russell's observation that many's the man would build a utopia that they themselves could not bear to live within. But my feelings towards AI is always based on extrapolating from similar events in the past. It's without doubt AI is a general purpose technology, but within those general purpose technologies such as steam and electricity, etc., there are four that we could see to be as the great accelerants, and those four were language, writing, the printing press, and now AI, as each has massively utilized the information, raw information itself, and facilitated its capacity to endure, to spread, to diversify at ever accelerating rates. And as was happened last time was with the printing press, we are now experiencing similar with AI, that it wasn't just the technology itself. The printing press didn't fundamentally change as a piece of kit for 300 years before the rise of steel and steam-powered printing presses. Other than that, it was basically a converted wine press with some filigreed metalwork attached to it. But AI is different in the fact that, in 2020, the most expert opinion was that AGI, average general intelligence, achievable by AI, would be 80 years. So they were forecasting 2100. 5 years later, it's expected to be within the next 2 years at most, if not sooner. That's a huge, huge leap, and also goes some way that most people, when you talk about AI, regardless, don't really have much idea about extrapolating its future. Hence my concentration on the exponentiality of it, because that's what we need to adopt. We need to adopt ways of assessing and addressing a world where exponentiality has taken over from our traditional linear ways of thinking. Will there be chaos? There'll be an awful lot of disruption. There'll be an awful lot of adjustments to be made. There'll be a lot of adapting and adopting to this new way of being. I do believe the benefits and what will result as a result of it will see an enormous increase in human standards of living and human flourishing and humans achieving that to which it has been impossibly constrained through lack of resources and lack of technology. But the moving to that exponentiality, moving into that mindset and understanding what it means is an absolute prerequisite, because one of the main reasons, again, if you go backwards, one of the main reasons for such fundamental problems with the printing press, the chaos of the European wars, the bloodshed of the Reformation, was that failure to understand just how much things were changing through to this new technology. People were adhering to a prior printing press worldview, even when the printing press was in amongst them and was a part of everyday life. So they were still living in a world where their mindset was printing had to be done via manuscripts. Manuscripts stored information in a solid, almost sacred manner, and therefore what was written in scripture was unchangeable, was fixed and solid. And it didn't take into account the new ways of thinking which the printing press, by allowing massive different books to be spread, new ideas, etc., had facilitated. And we're in a very similar position now with AI, that it opens up this enormous range of possibilities of doing things differently, better, cheaper, faster, safer. And we are struggling, or many people are struggling, to accept or to take this into account. And they're still insisting on viewing it through a pre-AI worldview, which is a linear worldview, when we need to switch to exponential. But that's why my doomerism, my P-doomer is so low, because it's a necessary change. It's a necessary evolution. It's a necessary, as all of these facilities, these capacities, etc., will emerge, we need to get into an emergent exponential mindset. And the sooner we do it, the better it's going to be for everybody.